everyone, and welcome back to Politically Speaking with the Online Citizen and our live stream coverage of the Singapore 2020 general election, where we are interviewing political candidates for the election from all over the political spectrum here in Singapore. So I'm PJ Thum, and today we are joined by two candidates from the Singapore Democratic Alliance who are running in Pasir Ris, Changi. Gotta make sure I get that right because the names have changed a lot. So we have the Chairman and Secretary General of the SDA, Chairman Mr. Desmond Lee,
Hello.
and Secretary General Mr. Abu Mohamed. Gentlemen, would you like to
sorry,
introduce?
it's 2025.
2025?
Not 2020.
Oh, sorry. What, did I say 20? Okay,
Yeah.
My apologies. The 2025 general election. This is my third general election covering, so I think losing track.
It's okay. So.
The problem with general election in Singapore is, it's always the same. We know who's going to win beforehand, right? There's all this rigging, there's all the dirty politics from the PAP. It's very frustrating. And you just keep wanting better, right? And so I think it just you just get stuck in this mind space of being very frustrated at living in an authoritarian state without actual democracy. But hopefully we can change that. We can do something different this time. I live in hope. So, Desmond, why don't you introduce yourselves to our viewers a bit?
Hi, I'm Desmond Lim from Singapore Democratic Alliance. I'm the current chairman. I'm thankful of today I'm able to have this opportunity to come to this platform to actually have a discussion on the GE 2025.
Okay, maybe the microphone. Sorry, we only have one wide mic, so we put it on an SDA flag.
Hi, I'm Abu Mohamed. I'm actually the president of Pertuan Kebangsaan Melayu Singapura, PKMS, or in English SMNO, Singapore Malay National Organisation, and I'm the Secretary General of SDA. We are a component party to SJP. So we are running this in GE2025 at the new change Pasir Ris, Changi.
Fantastic, thank you. Welcome to the show. Okay, so I think the first obvious question is, Desmond, you've been running in Pasir Ris for all its permutations since 2006. You ran independently in, was it Punggol?
Punggol East.
Punggol
Not
East.
independent, under the...
No, but as a solo candidate, right? You've lost your deposit all these years. Most of the time you make back your deposit, but you've lost your deposit twice. And you're still running.
Right.
So what is different this time? And what keeps you running, this determination to keep running even though you have lost so many times?
Okay. First of all, it's not so much about personal ego. It's a call of duty. Looking at SDA, one of the founder is Mr. Cham Sidong. And Mr. Cham Sidong have a very good value and principle that we should upkeep his legacy. When we talk about principle, we talk about service before sale. We talk about value, we're talking about how those marginal and those voices cannot be heard in parliament to represent them, be committed, consistency, compassion, and champion for social inequality. These are the value that I think is worth to keep and uphold the SDA. And that was the reason why in 2010 we have some actually misunderstanding, and therefore we have to split. But then I'm the so-called the chairman to keep SDA and uphold this value. I had to face it because we did not go to people place territory for 3.5, but they came. Now we have to stand tall. It's just like a soldier. You see, Singapore, we don't go and attack people, but we defend. And right? So that is a reason why I take up the challenge for 3.5. 2013, there's another 3.5. Despite 2011, I have lost deposit. Basically, if this kind of situation normally is very discouraged because 2011 is my dark day. I tell you, because of that, my wife miscarriage. Because of many supporters, so-called supporters, they came and then they do a lot of things to us. And some even go to my company and jump out the website and ask, demand them to sack me. But look at it this way, I'm doing something which is not harmful to anybody. I'm just doing something that I think is right to have it. That's all. And isn't it that when we're talking about democracy, you should allow everybody to participate. And the Constitution of Singapore allow people, every citizens to contest. Right or not? If you support your party, then by all means go ahead. Right? And help them to go and campaign, canvas for support. And instead of go and disturb, they are contestant. Right? But anyway, I learned my lesson. And 2013, there's a by-election. I still have to, because SDA, at this moment, we don't have a leader who have the charisma, that have the kind of personality that attract good people to come over. Right? Qualified. Not, we are all good, but I mean more qualified person to come over to actually involve in the leadership process and right. So, but I now regret, because why? After 2013, 2015, people start to accept the SDA in Pasir Ris, Punggol. Right?
But what do you mean by people start to accept?
Because early day SDA in 2001, one of the founders is Mr. Cham. And with Mr. Cham's personality and charisma, definitely everyone will look forward towards him, right? Now we don't have this kind of figure anymore. So everyone said, hey, this SDA can close shop. But they did not know, easy to close shop, but they don't know that there is this value, the principle and value of Mr. Cham's legacy that is worth to uphold and is worth to continue.
Okay, fair enough, but people will also say Mr. Cham's legacy is that he failed to build a party that can last, as opposed to Low Tia Kiang, who actually managed to handle the succession. And now Low Tia Kiang, is no longer running, right? Whereas Mr. Cham completely botched his succession, and he's had his proteges fall out with him. And he handed over Potong Pasir to his wife, who promptly lost the election, right? And Singaporeans, we reject this sort of family, monarchy, politics. We already have one Lee family, we don't need a second Lee family, right?
But then, this one, I of course said that this may be our upbringing, being indoctrinated by the education system, that we always want to see the best, good part. For example, children, they go for examinations, and they got 90 marks. Most of parents only look at the 10 mark. Why you never make 100 mark? Why you fear the 10 mark? Right? Something is that. And you go back to Mr. Cham. As I say, he got a good principle, he got a good value. Management is another thing. Right? The management doesn't work. It could be due to because he's a lawyer. Right? So I cannot say that because he cannot bring a good team or build a good team. That means whatever his good value, I believe is all right off.
Right. Yeah. No, I mean, no one's writing off his
value. I'm saying that.
But there's a difference between being a good man and being a good organizer. And so I guess my question is, why, you're in the East, why not just go join the Workers' Party and work with them?
That is also, we call it 一厢情愿. You cannot be only think you want to join, people will accept you, right or not? They have their own ideology, they have their own thinking. And for me, I was with Mr. Cham for 14 years, right? I understand how he carried things. One other example, meet the people session. Why people come for the meet the people session? They desperate for help. How to keep people motivated, and it's hope. Beside monetary is hope, right? So whenever anyone come, even those that we know the case is actually very difficult to appeal, we never reject. And he said, never reject any resident who come for help, even that it's not going to be succeed. We have to find another way and help to keep trying. That is, I think it's a good, as an MP, it's a right thing to do. Right?
Okay, that's fair enough. Yeah, I mean, if you have your ideology, your beliefs, you want to fight for that. Okay.
Yes, correct.
Mr. Mohamed, can I come to you? Oh, don't forget the mic.
Sorry.
PKMS, your heartland is Eunos. Your headquarters is still in Eunos, right?
Yes, yes.
But you're running in Pasir Ris. Like, why Pasir Ris and why not? I don't even know which constituency Eunos is in now because of gerrymandering. But it's clearly not Pasir Ris, Changi. Do you feel like you have an adequate connection to the ground here in Pasir Ris, Changi, or would you prefer to be running in one of your a traditional Malay heartland of Eunos?
Yeah. I live in Gimo.
Okay.
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 I go to Eunos. Right?
Yeah.
So, it's not because we are at Eunos and we are Malay, we got to find a place where there's so many Malay, so many ground for us. No. So, we have been with SGA since 2001. Also with Mr. Cham Sitong. So we have run the elections with them, we do the groundwork, we have the people to put their effort, so we don't go beyond picking up which area we want. We follow the suit, SGA, all the while working on the ground of Pasir Ris. Before it's Punggol, now Changi, later I don't know what, but whatever the change is, Pasir Ris is our considered like home ground.
Right.
You see, we work very hard. Even the charity, we do charity on a different ideology, not the mixture of political party, but it's the same people in PKMS and in SJP. Desmond Lim, the dedicated leader of PKMS also, we have a platform, a department of charity chain. So, from there, our connection, our interaction with the people, regardless of race, language or religion. We cannot say, oh, here got so many Malays, because we are Malay party, we must be here. No. I always emphasize to my members, we are Singaporean. I always hold to our pledge. Since small, we go to school, we the Singapore people pledge ourselves as one united people, regardless of race, language, and religion. So we cannot differentiate where to go. Oh, Malay kampung, no.
Right.
See. So when you ask that question, I hope I answer that.
Yeah.
Why we are in Pasir Ris, Changi, because we work the ground.
Okay.
Yeah.
So both of you are in an interesting position because you have been in the ground in Pasir Ris longer than some of your opponents. In an election where we're all talking about who got dropped where, Gan Kim Yong, Tan Si Leng, you also got a new minister dropped in, Indrani, even though she's been in Tanjong Pagar for 24 years, now she's airdropped, parachuted into Pasir Ris. So make your pitch to voters. Why should they vote for you over Indrani Raja?
Okay. Vote for SDA for sincere, fearless representation, and we always put you or then power first. Okay?
But you have a connection to the ground, right?
Yes.
That's the what I was getting at. You do charity work.
Yes.
You've been walking the ground
Right.
since 2001, 2006. Tell us a bit about your work on the ground in Pasir Ris, your connection, the things you've been doing in Pasir Ris.
Actually, we contested there in 2006, right? And we did not disappear because based on the value, we have to be committed and consistent out. And also build the trust from the people. And how to build the trust from the people? You must make your presence felt. So, and this is the reason why we have been very consistently stay in Pasir Ris, then Punggol. At 2016, there was one incident because after the election, we also continue to do the house-to-house visit to find out what can we do for them or what can we help them. And we visit this block 614. There's one senior ladies, thank you. 5-room flat. I saw a lot of different breads on her table. I said, Auntie, your house a lot of people staying. They said, no, it's for me. Then I said, you don't cook. He said, my children work in the day and come back on the night. If I cook, I'm alone. I cannot finish the food. So I have different kind of bread. I like which taste, I will just take. Right? So I said, okay, auntie, I think we should do something. Because before I set out in a free meal station, initially a free meal station in Pasir Ris. The first one was in Tampines.
Okay.
It was first one because why I did not choose Pasir Ris as the first one and I chose Tampines. I want to differentiate politics and charity, and this is also learned from Mr. Cham in Potong Pasir. You know, Potong Pasir very challenging one. One side is Sito supporter, one side is Mr. Cham supporter. You can easily differentiate them, but regardless of which camp they are. To Mr. Cham, they are all Potong Pasir resident, right? But if we put the charity under the party name, if those who are actually affiliated or loyal to work PAP, they may not want to come in for help, right? So Mr. Cham now name Cham Sitong Welfare Fund, SDA Welfare Fund or SPP they call Potong Pasir Welfare Fund.
Right.
So we can reach everybody. Right? Same here. We call it dedicated locals caring community. And because charity, what is the purpose of charity is to reach everyone. If they're in need of help, we help them and don't make them felt in debt to your political party. If they change their belief, good. No, they touch their fear. If not, that's why today, when we go for a walkabout, one of the uncles say, talk, you say, I am a strong supporter of PAP, but after talking to you, I changed my mind. I will support you. Yeah. So it's all about interaction and then sharing and that's all. And
Can you tell me a bit about this DLCC?
DLC, dedicated local caring community.
Yeah.
Honestly, at the very beginning, it's now coming 10 years. When we do charity, we count on my own pocket money. But one day my wife say, hey, you keep using your money, then what about two of us, my wife and my son? I think, yeah, right, okay. So then I say, I look around, I can leverage on my network. I got friends who are actually in the wholesale center. I got friends who actually is a rice merchant, or even I write to a big organization for ask for donation. And definitely they will donate. But why? 3 months before expiry date, normally they will clear. When if they want to dispose, they need money, right? If they keep in the store, they take out the space. If they lower the price, then it actually affect their branding. So it's good to do charity, right?
Yeah.
And I got a group of people that can consume.
Right.
So it's a win-win situation. Okay. So the word is leverage.
Right.
And this thing, actually, after a few other political parties, and I look at it, they are practicing. But then somehow I no comments on what type of branding they are using. But as far as SDA, as far as myself, charity and politics should be different. Most recently, we're talking about Pulau Win, right? The PAP, it's now come under Changi. So I have the duty to extend my service. So the PAP members was visit them, and then to me, I look at it, oh, okay. But to me, visiting is one thing. What is the need in Ubin? Of course, you're talking about power supply, we're talking about water, then we're talking about elderly. And elderly from there to come to Singapore to go for medical consultation is very troublesome and cumbersome. I take boat and very tiring for them. So I organized my charity group, the medical team, went over to Ubin to conduct a medical checkup for them. And then because my doctor is a qualified doctor, right? So he can prescribe medicine. Right. That is what we call, we don't shout for slogan, we take action.
So if you win, you're going to have a chance to run a town council. What are some of the ideas that you have? Because in the last few days, interviewing all these different candidates, we've had some really interesting ideas about, okay, town council, we're going to have, mental health clinic, we're going to help people with job transition, we're going to have, the green pavilion, right? We're going to have set up this, set up that, right? And so, what are some of the ideas that you have had for your town council?
Okay. I have been actually served Port Pasir Town Council for 14 years as an advisor to Mr. Cham, and actually I'm very proud of Mr. Cham and the Port Pasir Town Council because we never increase the SNC. Right. Secondly, we don't have deficit, right? Because we do everything on our own, hand-on. Yeah. So, in terms of Port Pasir management, in terms of handling the Port Pasir upgrading project, and I will say that rest assured we are not newbie. We have the experience, and we know where to get the right group to with us, the right group of management to us, and run the town council. Okay. Right. Then, in terms of new idea, in terms of let's talk about there is two areas. One is social. Okay. One is the infrastructure, right? Social, by right, it should be the MP duty to make sure that the elderly welfare are being well taken care of. They are not being lonely at home. They can actually come out, build a community, and then also have some program for them so that we can take care of each other, or even free their children from focus on a job, and we help to arrange their parents for medical checkup. Or any other events they need to attend, but the children cannot take leave. Right? Also, elderly, what they need is loneliness. They need interactions. And we got youth group, which is also sometimes the parents are working, and the parents also say, hey, what my children is doing at home. So if we can integrate these two groups together, one can share their experience with the younger group, and the younger one can keep the older one company. That will make the society, the community more vibrant and more caring. Right. Yeah. Then we're talking about, you look at it, you also have the wellness, mental wellness. Yeah. Because mental wellness for the young adult and for anyone is very important nowadays, because today we are not only talking about job stress, we are talking about financial stress, right? And we want a happy home. When you go back home, you are happy, family, everything should be going smooth. But if you go back home, we bring your stress and all this, likely you are more stressed. So we hope this could not happen in our constituency. So mental wellness is one of the programs.
Okay.
Right. And talking about the middle age and all, we are facing career crisis, they say. Yeah. Right? Anytime can get retrenchment, and so what we need to do, we have industrial park in Loyang. We have many companies, and these are things that they need chain of supplies.
Okay.
And even our neighborhood shop, right? They also need chain of supply. If we could gather all these people together, we form a business networking, and if our people can actually come in which part area that they can actually involve in the business and provide the chain supply, where we can also help them to go to OAC to get the resources. This is what we also have inside. When you talk about young couple, now one thing is housing. Right. Those that the government say the PTO, I give you subsidies and that, but not forgetting that different from us. They maybe have to serve their loan for life. Yeah. And where is the saving for them? Yeah. So we will see. I believe in the whole GRC, there are people who have access property that renting out, right?
Okay. Access property.
Yes. We can actually talk to them, work out something that temporary while they're waiting for the PTO or to work out for them to transition.
Okay, that's interesting.
Yeah. So these are something that we have been actually in our manifesto.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
These are the things that the social welfare. When talking about the town council, anyone who took over the town council with the funding and with the CIPC funding, there are many things that we can do. Linkway, barrier-free access. We're talking about neighborhood interaction park. And this interaction park, it should not be just walk with the dog. No. It have to be, as you know that there's now we're talking about wellness, right?
Yeah.
So you have to have a corner. Sometimes people just need to throw out, right? So there's one corner for them.
Right.
No.
Just for interactions.
Not interaction,
like-
but that they can physically punch the toys or just
What?
throw out the anger and people,
okay.
because people, one is anger, they
Yeah.
cannot rationalize.
Okay.
But if they throw out their temper, their anger, they will calm down and they will start to think, hey, am I overreact? They do reflections and they overreact or not.
So you mean like those places I visited in other countries where you can go and buy plates to smash or like punch things and
Something
break
that
things?
something that actually can help you to discharge your anger and make you back to the rational
Okay.
thinking.
Okay.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
this
sure,
will
why
help
not? I mean,
save the family and also save the crime rates. Right?
Okay.
Yeah. This is something that we would want to introduce.
But I see the theme is mental health, right?
Yeah.
And we live a very stressful
Yes,
society.
yes.
So would you like to add any other proposals to that?
No, I just want to say something.
Yeah.
I just want to say something. If you ask about town council,
Yeah.
I want to ask you now. You seen all the town council, is it in place?
In place?
Is working or not?
It's running. It means it's in operation.
It's operation,
all the
right?
town is-
There are people who manage everything.
Yes.
This is town council, based on his experience and mistakes of my experience of taking care of small building or even household. We are not going to plan or write stories or a sitcom drama. Already in place, so we have to be, because it's if, if means if we are in, so we already got to start our work.
Right.
We got to go around and see if the laneway or need some alteration. We need what the people need for the sake of the people alone. You see?
Okay.
So town council is not that. At the same time, we have the people who do the job,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
We can get
Hire
add in,
professionals.
we can add in our professionals. At the same time,
You keep the
we
staff.
create job for our own Singaporean, not
Right.
foreign talents. Our own people who got no job, and engineering, electrician, all this technical. Okay, this town council lack of rectification or something like supervision. What we get our people experts, so we, because the money is there, but of course the calculations should be right, lah.
Yeah.
Right. So at the same time, we are giving Singaporean jobs in the town council. If every town council in Singapore can do it well with the profession of all Singaporeans that has been qualified, there's no people high qualification students with degrees driving Grab
Yes.
just to survive.
Right.
So we fix people into a position that, better for them. No? Better get a good salary. When they build a home with that salary, CPF.
Yeah.
Then they build up the CPF, they can, don't talk about affordable housing. Even if cheap housing, if you don't, you drive Grab just to survive daily, bread and butter, you can't even afford to buy a flat. We are not buying house, in Singapore. Let me tell you, I want to share this one. Always in my mind. Singaporeans, public housing is what? You go to housing and development board, they will ask you how many rooms you want, not flat, not house. You're only buying rooms. Then you have to pay conservancy charges so they can sweep the floor. Outside is not yours.
Yeah.
Only the room.
Yeah.
You cannot do this, cannot do that.
Yeah. That's true. One of the things when the Prime Minister or Lawrence Wong says, "Oh, you own your flat," it's not true. You only lease your flat. You're leasing a
you
few
only buy-
rooms.
The
Yeah.
first step you go to HDB, they will ask you fill in the form how many rooms you want.
Right. Okay.
They don't say what flat you want.
Well, we're on the subject, right? One of the contradictions in our housing model is it tries to be both affordable for young people, for people looking for housing, not even young people, anyone, affordable, at the same time, it wants to be an investment where the price always goes up, that lets you invest your CPF, your pension fund into it so that you have a nest egg. But it can't be both, because if you want it to be affordable, price has to be low. If you want it to be a nest egg, the price has to rise above inflation. So what is SDA's position? Should housing be affordable or a nest egg? Right? Because of course the PAP is trying to have it both ways. But what is your position on that?
First, we're talking about technology that make using technology to make the house more affordable, and also the policy. We have to build before demand, build faster, and build it simple. Don't want to have fantasy design. Leave it to the couple, leave it to the owner to renovate, and this definitely will bring down the cost. Second thing is land cost. I think the land cost, because it's a 99 lease and you don't own the land, the government should review. Or if we have 1/3 in the parliament, I think this voice will be heard. The land cost should be separate from the construction cost of the HDB.
Right.
This is one way to bring down the cost. Definitely, you see, we use our CPF to buy property, and CPF is actually for what purpose? Retirement. If the property price is down, honestly, we don't need to retire, right? Because all money there. So we want it to be appreciated, and in any event, you need to have the price appreciate so that people will because in your whole life working, in our whole life working, it's not going to normal people were not able to make that kind of profit. Right? And if you use for an original person who have no financial, you give to them the amount, they may not even know how to invest. Right? So property, HDB, is also one kind of form of investment to safeguard the interest and make sure that there is some sufficient amount enough for retirement.
Okay.
Right? So I think we still can juggle two together. One.
Really?
Yes.
I think so. Okay.
But the first one I told you that bring down the cost is
Okay.
make use of technology and also the policy.
Right.
Right?
And the land cost, yes.
Yeah,
I understand
yeah,
that, and I understand wanting to have the house as a nest egg. But the problem is you can't have both, right?
You can have. Why you
Okay,
can
how?
have? Now, we know that we need properties to inflation. And then at the end, then the everything economy will grow. The most faster way of actually you see the economy growth is actually from property market. Right? So, and it's fair for people put in the retirement fund to always make sure that the money is safe, is at least is safe there. If so, that means the property have to keep appreciate. But you must not. Then you must have a capping.
Okay.
Capping that not let it go all until soon rocket high.
Sure. Yeah.
So this is a way that you can achieve it, because the capping is actually assurance to our people that don't worry, your money is always there.
Okay.
Because this is HDB flat property, you should not use for speculation, but it's all who do the evaluation.
Yeah, and there's a lot of speculation now, right?
Because it should tie on this. Tighting on this, and we should have some capping that this amount, the increase of the amount, able sufficient to reward the people for retirements.
Okay. Okay. So to those of you who are watching, they will be taking questions later. So feel free to drop your questions into the comments. We will ask them questions. But before we get to that, can I just ask you about two really interesting things in your manifesto? The first one is this family care account, right? And you specifically cited an AWA study, which was monthly direct cash payments, which is basically a universal basic income experiment. So is the SDA advocating some form of universal basic income for the poorest in Singapore?
Yes. Look at it. There's now in general, because everyone say 钱不够用. It's true, because the inflation is higher than the income, salary increase, and people are struggling to actually survive through. I call it survive through.
Right.
So we must actually keep doing monitoring the wages. But of course, if you say, hey, you like that, then the operation cost is going to be high. But put it this way, doing business in terms of operation, there's a lot of elements. But of course, the government say, oh, rental is not the cost of. But actually, rental is one of the big piece that push out the costing.
Right.
So it's fair that we should introduce rental control to control the rental, so that the small shop entrepreneur or the storeholder did not need to continue to increase the prices.
Okay.
Right. This one. Secondly, we have the minimum wages review on the minimum wages to make sure that people can actually live a decent life, and can afford to pay.
Okay.
Right? And not forgetting,
So you're
today,
in favor of minimum wage.
today we are actually, it's a developed country.
Yeah.
Right? Shouldn't our people should not living in the stress and struggling for the, surviving for tomorrow or another day? And the country is not that poor.
We're not poor. The country is not poor.
Yeah.
But Singaporeans are poor.
Precisely. So we need the governments to actually, is a government that actually caring for the people, not the governments where we are struggling and slap us more, increase tax, slap more, increase water tax, slap us more, impose new charges. Okay. And one of our duty, if we are elected in the parliaments, we not only amplifying the voice of the people, we want to change their mindset to make them be more responsive to the problem and solve problem with innovative.
Right.
And not like now. The style you can read
like how would you do that? That's actually a good point, right? We need more entrepreneurship.
Yeah.
We need more innovation. We need more social participation. Right now, people are afraid to do anything because if the government doesn't like it, it'll just shut you down. Then all your efforts are wasted, right?
Yes.
Everything, Singaporeans are just afraid to act because the government won't let you do anything. So how will you make Singaporeans more responsive, more
First of
innovative?
all, why people will come forward? First, the media must free media,
Right.
so that people can receive information.
Okay.
Secondly, we must have sufficient MP, alternative party MP in the parliaments, as we're talking about 1/3.
Okay.
And with that 1/3, the president is there, and indirectly you are actually give them confidence, empower them to share the view or their thoughts with their MP.
Okay.
And this group MP will come to the parliaments and say, look here, and you better think of a way. You don't simply take an easy way, increase tax. Take an easy way, impose new charges, which is happened.
Yeah.
Or proactive. Anything happen? Oh no, not proactive. Reactive, and not proactive. We should be proactive. Not wait until something happen. Oh, then you pass a new bill or new policy, and no. Which this culture currently is not good for Singapore development.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. We're have we got any questions? Okay. So my next question then is about your very interesting, and I think this is very unique. Expand the use of MediSave to allow it to be used at accredited healthcare institutions around ASEAN. Can you tell me more about?
Okay.
So you're basically encouraging what they call medical tourism. We go and spend our money for, and usually that's private, but you're saying allow people to go spend MediSave in Malaysia specifically. You've got a map here of Malaysia. Yeah. So
Okay.
tell us about that.
First of all, we are talking about quality healthcare.
Okay.
It's not, we are not talking about high medical fees.
Yeah.
Of course, this is one of the concerns. But when we have the quality healthcare, that means we need not need to wait for too long in our own hospital. When it comes to emergency, you go to the emergency department, there's a shortage of medical officer, and you take longer time to wait to your turn. Even get paid. And what in the day, right? Look at ASEAN, and also we talk about Malaysia. Those medical doctors, some of them has graduated from NUS.
Yeah.
Right? You go to the clinic, they put a certificate, graduate from NUS Medical School. So are they qualified? Is their same qualification as Singapore doctor? And we have this Singapore Malaysia special economic zone, and in this economic zone there are hospitals inside. What they need to do, our NOH just go and accredit them, right? one accredit them, and our people can actually, those who have chronic disease or who think that by going next door, they can actually save their cost, right? And they get same type of treatments or better treatments. So this is why we propose.
So there's several problems I'm seeing here. The first is, it's a bit unfair to Singaporean doctors, isn't it? Because a lot Singaporean doctors also have a lot of high costs that they can't control. It's not that Singaporean doctors want to charge expensive healthcare. Rent is a major issue in Singapore for everyone, okay? Another is that, what about, so yes, accredited, high quality, but if something bad happens, who then is liable? Say you go for surgery and the surgery goes badly. If it's in Singapore, then it's within the system. You can sue the hospital, there's a medical board, it's all that, right? You go to Malaysia, the Malaysians say, oh no, it's Singaporean problem. The Singaporeans say, oh no, it's Malaysian problem. Like, who do you,
Let me first answer your question. Is that unfair? It's not, we never unfair or deny our own medical doctor to make money, or we are not talking about fees, we're talking about quality healthcare. What is quality? That means we actually lighten the burdens of our own medical officer, because if, let's say, now currently I think they are actually, their hands are full, and also a lot of patients waiting. So they are actually overworked, I would say. Right? So this is something that we want to also lighten the load of our medical doctor. Right? That's why I never say high cost, right? Initially, when I say quality healthcare, I never say reduce healthcare. But of course, this also comes to the costing lah. When you go to Malaysia, the rate, exchange rate, right? So with those, because if you want to say, example, you got want to do some we talk about heart.
Let me give you another. Okay, we have questions coming in, but there's also issue of moral hazard, right? You go there, what if these clinics jack up the prices for Singaporeans? Because ultimately, right, they also need to serve Malaysians. So you're competing in Malaysians who also need healthcare. That's one thing, right? And you're going to come in, you're going to outspend the Malaysians who suddenly might find themselves shunted back to the queue in favor of the foreigner. But then what if the clinics just say, oh, this is free money from the Singapore government, jack up the price? How do you control? Because in Singapore, there's a single payer system, right? Government, everything regulate. But you go to Malaysia, then there's no regulation.
You see, this is something that we have the system. We can duplicate. And we have the agreement with the Malaysian government for the special economic zone. We're talking about within the zone, right? So it's the same kind of system, the same kind of standard, the same kind of requirement will be there. It's only thing about the mechanism on checking and control. So if we going to do that, of course we must get the mechanism of checking and accredited and control have to be in place first, and both parties have to be agreed. Right? We cannot blindly just send our people there and suka chuck. Cannot, because somehow that MediSave money is still our people money. We got to protect them before everything is well protect before we go send them. It's just like we want to send soldiers to war. We also make sure that they can come back. Right.
Okay, let's take some questions. And I think the first question we have here is that. So the question is, SDA has not performed well and failed to win any seats in Parliament since 2006. What has SDA been doing to strengthen the party? So this comes back to my earlier question, right? And that's Dr. Mr. Cham's big failure. Great man, great values, but not a good manager, and never managed to. He botched his succession. So the two of you have been running the party for 20 years now? What have you done to strengthen the party and make it actually a lasting institution that will last beyond the two of you?
Okay, first, we must, because our focus is in Pasir Ris, then Punggol, now it's Changi. We must make our presence being relevant to the community in Pasir Ris and now Changi. Right? And we are there with a purpose and people recognize us. That's why the last 2020 there's a three-corner fight and we are considered as second credible party towards based on the Pasir Ris and Punggol voter. They still see us better than another party.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
Wait.
Okay.
Allow me to say that.
Yeah.
So, for us, we have to strengthen the ground and keep building trust. But definitely today, technology, Gen Z and millennial, all this kind of thinking, honestly, we are also trying to understand them. But then, based on age, they always have generation gap in terms of communication and understanding. So we are trying our best to bring in youngest. That's why this election, we have our team form, but then yet we still say okay, let's have Ying Kai, right? Because he's a Gen Z,
right?
Right.
But he's just parachuted in. He's not like organically from your, volunteers, like work with you 5 years, come up. The other parties, you hear them say, oh, yeah, they volunteered with us 10 years ago, 5 years ago. Then we expose them to this, slowly we promote them up. Now they're running for office, right? Then you see a strong party structure, move up, promote experience, merit-based.
Yeah. Everything there must start at some point. If I cannot start from the basic or a grassroots, because actually politics, we're talking about grassroots politics and not those who are from elite or those from civil service and parachute in. Supposedly, if you're talking about politics, it should be grassroots politics.
Grassroots,
right? But you're looking at the overall situation and contents, and if for us, we to actually have a diverse view, diverse representative, then we have to actually start from somewhere.
Okay, but I guess the question is, you've been doing this 20 years already.
Yeah. Politics, there is no shortcut. That's what Mr. Chan, it could be happen if I'm lucky. For example, I join one party in Paris and tomorrow walk over. I'll be elected. But I'm not that lucky. But anyway, I'm very traditional. And I also believe in Mr. Cham said that politics is not about 1 day, 2 day or shortcut. You have to work the ground. It could be 20 years, it could be after I retire, may not achieve. But then I never give up hope and never say die. That is the way of, and also there is a duty on me to keep SDA alive, the legacy, uphold the legacy. I believe one day we can get a bigger group of people to come in, which is actually much qualified, and with all the kind of new high-tech knowledge and also the management knowledge, and also able to connect with certain segment of people.
Okay.
Right. And you can see that that's why our plan for Pasir Ris, Changi is from the children, from the young adults, from the middle age, and for the senior citizen. Because if you look at our team, he's an elder man that understand that what is the elder needs.
Yeah.
We got this Paul Habinda Singh.
Yes.
And unfortunately, because 100 years ago he had fell and then he amputated his leg. But that also made him even more understanding about the disability, on how we were able to help the disability to get employed within our constituency or access to anywhere, free access, barrier free. And also the medical course he went through, right? And we got this Wing Kai, which is Gen Z. That he's thinking, honestly, I'm still trying to adopt, but I think as elders to him, a big brother to him, I think I have to give him room and give me myself some time to do some calibrations. Right? I think it's very good, combination of our team.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, anything you want to add as Secretary General?
If you want to talk about us carry on, now it's a stepping stone. You're talking about Unikai, just parachute, all this. It's not exactly that way. Okay. We found him that he's new, he's very young, and he got that idea on this environment, this generation environment, this trend of technology. So we're giving him a learning point for the stepping stone for now. Maybe he can take over us, but we only fit in the experience we have for him to run under the way of the new generation running.
Right.
Like let's say we use tools that is without electricity. Now they just use the electric one, so it's different. So we are giving him space to build up. This that depends on his self lah, you know.
Okay.
But we can monitor and then we can feed. Then we can accept and he can accept that this is the stepping stone for him. So then we have to build up, but there's no automatic lah, you know. There's no, unless I would pinpoint even if you get a brigadier general to run an MRT, you think he got the qualification?
Well, I mean, we have brigadier generals who run
Yeah.
public transport very badly.
There's always a learning process.
So
Yeah,
see. So I'm saying your point. I'm saying your point. It's not because of that. We have been here maybe 20 years. We haven't make up yet, but still we carry on until we find ways.
Okay.
You see, find ways at the same time. Concern about the lamenting issues about the true blue Singaporeans.
Okay.
Then we have our ways. We have our manifesto. We have our solutions. Let's say I give you an example. You want to activate your NTUC membership, right?
Yeah.
You have to join membership, right?
Yeah.
If you want us to activate how we run, you register us and become member of parliament, then we do it. If not, we just TikTok only. Right?
Well, I think what people are arguing is that, you know, we look at your party, it's the same people, you haven't really, it doesn't look like you've developed a party structure. I mean, let's be honest, the PKMS is the oldest party in Singapore, right? Since 1946.
Yes,
but
yes.
you haven't had a member of parliament since 1963.
Yeah, because you see, let me answer that. Perception of people
Yeah.
is a multiracial, yes, but we are only a minority to serve the Malay community. Besides being in parliament, we are doing our part to progress our community behind the scene or outside the scene. Yeah? Our way.
Right.
We avoid all these rukus, all these hiccups, all this nonsense, I should say. So, at the same time, now we are component of other party.
Yeah.
Yet also, we cannot run because we are only minority. That's the perception. You see? But we are working hard to stay on with this Chiam Chee Tong legacy and the experience we have in SDA.
Right.
You see?
Can I?
Yeah.
Okay, Desmond like to jump in. Thank you.
First of all,
See any
I think it's fair to give any ones that have no experience the platform to come in to learn. If you don't give anyone that have no experience to join the platform to learn, forever he will never have experience. And it's better for a person who have a potential and have the aspiration want to form a political party to come with us, because we have already built the foundation, strong foundation for them. We got our grassroots organization.
How big is your grassroots?
I got 1,005 members.
Wow.
Yeah, and anytime I can mobilize, I can actually get them, but I don't involve them in politics.
Wait. You're a political party. Isn't the point of being in your grassroots to be involved in politics?
No. It is different. You see, supposing RC, we have to actually RC
Yeah.
and PA are supposed to be grassroots. Honestly, they are set up to serve the people.
Yeah, of course. We know they're politicized. They serve the
politicized.
PAP.
And
Yeah.
we should show them what is a good example.
Oh.
What should be the good system and what is a good example.
Okay, but those are two different things. The PA is paid for by the Singapore government, so it should be apolitical. Your grassroots
Yes.
is SDA, is political party. Like if PAP grassroots supports the PAP, that's fine. If workers by grassroots supports workers by, that's what they're organized for, right? I don't quite understand your point.
As I say, charity, if you want to reach out to everybody, you should not come with a political label. There's those who really want to help, they may been right off because they have different political belief. What is the intention of actually want to help people? Is to reach those who really need help and make sure that they are not in debt and make sure that you're able to reach them.
Those are two different things. So you have your charity and you have your party.
Yes.
So which one are we talking about? The charity,
we're talking about the charity. Okay. Charity is also a form of grassroots. You know why? Let me example. So I'm trying to say, what I'm trying to say is that yes, those that I draw the line very clear. But humans are humans.
Yeah.
Right? They got a heart.
Okay.
In 2020, I did not actually mobilize those residents who benefited from my program.
Yeah.
Well, I was very touched. They come out until, hey, 蛮好，不要给林木钱输掉安贵金。And they go campaign for me. They go campus. They go and talk. I never ask them. I never instigate them or appeal to them. That is, you see, 以民为先，以民为本. As if your governments had actually not been supported by the people. I tell this why so many dynasty collapse?
Yeah.
Because the people don't support them. They lost touch.
Okay. So questions from the audience, right? Actually, they kind of all dovetail into this whole thing that it's about succession and ideology. What is the plan for the future of the SDA? I think we talked about that. Is Mr. Chia Yun Kai the part of that future? But let's start with this question. What are you going to do? And let's be honest here, you're probably going to lose the election, right? The election is not free or fair. It's not a reflection of your merits or your ability. The election is neither free nor fair, right? It doesn't meet any of the international standards or even just simple moral standards for being a fair election. You're probably going to lose, and there's no shame in that, right? The Workers' Party are probably going to lose a lot of where they're running, PSP as well. I'm pretty pessimistic, okay? But let's assume you lose. What are you going to do then in the next 5 years to build up your party? And what is the succession plan in place? Because if I may be very honest, sir, you're not very young, right? Neither are you. What happens next for your party? And how do you bring it to relevance?
Okay.
Yeah. And also someone here actually has a question like, they feel like you're very obsessed with Mr. Cham. You know, Mr. Cham his day is over. It's like being obsessed with Lee Kuan Yew. It's not that day. Okay, let's not focus on that question, right? I know you've talked a lot about Mr. Cham. And Mr. Cham's a great man.
It's his opinion.
Opinions, right? Yeah. But Mr. Cham, we also agree, failed the succession.
Right?
So let's talk about
succession.
Building a party. Let's bring PKMS and SJP back to relevance, right? You founded in 1974. You're also one of the oldest parties. You know, you're the oldest party, you know, so what's your plan for the future? And let's end on that note because I think we're almost out of time.
Okay.
Yes.
Look here. Isn't it? Is everything got to have a start?
Yeah.
Supposedly we will hopefully have pausing, right?
Yes.
Right. But unfortunately, something happened to him.
But he's still running.
He had hard to run. But that's why we don't discount him.
Yeah.
We don't discount him, but he needs time to recover, and he will recover. So this is something that not say overnight you hand everything to people and then run away. Oh, no, it's not that way. It's not. You make sure that the person have actually aligned with the value, believe in the principle, and have the heart for the people, and being approachable. Right. And willing to commit what we believe and he believe. So it's not that I give it to you, never mind, go. No, not that way. As why I say again, I'm not oppressed because they have not obsessed to what to Mr. Cham. It's because they never went through the 14 years that I have with Mr. Cham, the inner side of Mr. Cham. right?
Okay.
It's not I'm trying to sell him, but I think there's something that his value able to actually groom good leaders that will actually help Singapore, help the community to come out a better policy. Right? It's a matter of time. Now this Wing guy came in. He's not the one and only who come in, right? We got Kelvin on. Then and later if we can multiply this number, right? Law of attraction.
Okay.
Right? Slowly, I think there is a chance for us to have a younger generation to come into our management and come up with the idea and let's go.
Okay.
Yeah, don't discount us. Don't discount. We are old, but we old because we are doer. Because we do the foundation.
Okay.
We build the foundation.
Okay.
And we help all these young generations who come in have more time instead of focusing on start from scratch and go and do the grassroots. They come in with what is the latest chance that actually we are able to connect to the largest group of young generation, able to attract more people, or you make use of technology. Right? So it's a very good combination, and let me tell you that Winka is not the one and only. As I say, surprise. Right. So certain time we have something we did not need to go. It's in the corporations. I'm not running also in the management of corporation. We don't disclose our strategy. We don't disclose some of our brand.
Okay.
Come, you see. That's all. Surprise.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is there anything you'd like to add, sir?
For me, I just like to add about succession, right?
Yes.
You're
Yes.
talking about succession.
Yeah.
It can go beyond 25 years, 50 years. You see who built Singapore? Our late salute Lee Kuan Yew.
And the old guard. Don't
And
forget.
the organ.
And the old guards.
Yeah.
We are considered one of the old guards, right?
Well.
But they have already in power,
Yeah.
right? Many years, 60 years now. So they have, automatically they have the authorization to do this, to do that, right? But for us, talking about succession of the party, we have to continue. That's why we getting new breed, as I told you. But how, based on experience, how we motivate them, put them into mind about the political ideology, then we have to leave it to them because their trend is different. They might have friends will follow. So we cannot follow them. We let their group kind of generation to follow. So let them continue. But we have to plan for 20 years, 25 years when we are not here. Even the coordination not here. You see, we can say when any problem want to wake up, but we cannot wake up. So let them wake up.
But that's the question you're asking. What is the plan? You know, you can't just say, okay.
The plan, okay,
Yeah,
the
yeah.
plan, okay, let me be honest lah.
Yeah.
If we got all this good plan, it's going to be an internal secret. We cannot expose. We really cannot
to
expose.
satisfy your answer, honestly, when you see plan, the fact that we accept Wing Kai, because we accept Wing Kai,
You guys.
Wing Kai.
Yeah.
We accept him. Isn't that is a plan of renewal also, right?
He just dropped out of the sky. Nobody expect him to become. It was not like
First-
you slowly develop the grassroots.
As I say, nowadays,
Yeah.
if you want a G generation
Yeah.
to start off with scratch and then carry chair and follow you behind, honestly, they say bye bye. Serious. That is a fact you have to accept. That is a fact I accept. Because these people who are highly educated,
Yeah.
and they have more exposure in the social media, and they have their ideas, right? And we have to integrate with them their ideas and see how together we come out with development plans.
Okay.
But the fact is that everything must have a start.
Okay.
And this is like seed. You have to put in the seed, then the thing will grow.
Okay.
Watering, then the tree will grow up. So it takes time. Be patient with us. We are not sitting here idling, but we tell everyone we have built a very strong foundation. It's just the only thing that you just hop on to our ship, and then renovate it or even improve it to turbo engine.
Okay, I tell you what.
Yeah.
At the next election in 2030,
yes,
you
yes.
guys, I'll come back, you come back, we'll
Yes.
sit down. And then you tell me, okay, in the past 5 years, how you built up the party.
Yeah.
And you tell me about the young blood you brought in, maybe Ying Kai, maybe someone else.
Yes.
Okay, deal?
Yeah. We take this challenge.
Okay, you're a brave man, sir.
Yes.
Yeah.
I want to
Okay,
thank both
yes,
of you. I mean, I know it's very hard to be an opposition politician in Singapore. There are so many challenges. As we said, not free, not fair. The media portrays you, in horrible ways, and people shun you. So you're both, I think, doing a great public
We are thick
service.
skin. Have to be thick skin.
And you're giving people a choice, which is really important,
yeah,
right? And you're making sure the government doesn't get walked over or free pass. So,
Correct.
for that alone, I
I'm glad
salute
you recognize that because
Yeah.
many people say, "Oh, mosquito party don't contest." But if we don't contest, there will be many walkover. Then those people in the PAP side will be very free. They got extra resources. What they going to do?
Yeah.
Of course, they go Arjuni, they go Sambawang, they go West Coast. Right? So we keep them occupied.
Yeah.
Even we cannot deny and we cannot disagree or agree. You are talking of alternative parties, like opposition parties. Too many in Singapore. So you think it's easy? You know which. We have to be honest in that. So how we want to do that? If we putting our heart with SGA, why bother about other parties? So we try to plan whatever it is.
I think the questions
to-
people are
to
asking
add on,
is not because they don't want you to run or people want you to be good, but they also want to see what's your plan. Why should I
Yeah,
join you,
okay,
right?
yeah.
You can't just say, "Oh, my plan's a secret." They're like, "What's the plan? Tell us."
Isn't I share with you the starting plan? You get young, you come in. Come in your idea. Then we together discuss.
Yeah.
We integrate together.
Okay.
Right. Because my plan may not be acceptable to the young generations.
Yeah.
Right. Because I believe in dual action. Everything.
A very grassroots based,
foundation,
yeah.
you build
A service model of politics.
But some
yes.
people will say, I have a better brain.
Yeah.
So compliment okay, compliment, and then we come up. Right? But always must have a start.
Okay.
Always must have. You put the seed.
But don't forget, theory and practical got to be
Theory and
together.
practice, yeah.
Even let's say how you want to build. First, people want to join the new generation. We have our constitution to follow. We have protocol to follow. So from there we have discussion, and that discussion we cannot reveal openly. That's our constitution. Every party.
Yeah.
You see? So we have been trying very hard about succession or succeed. That one beyond the question, because if people really wants to see SGA go, come in.
to understand.
Okay.
Like
That's fair.
say,
That's fair. Yeah. If they want you to succeed, they've got to give you a chance. Got to come in. Got to see what you're.
Yeah.
About,
Then
talk to
you offer.
Okay.
We want to see what you offer.
Yeah.
Is it?
Okay.
To add on. To add on.
We're really out of time. So last
point I have to highlight.
Yeah.
Now, SDA, as you know, SDA is a coalition of all parties, right? And of course, we want to see the number increase. But because of different ideology, what outside, all people want to see is opposition unity because they don't understand different party. It's just like early day PAP and Barisan Society. They have two different ideology. But PAP was one time an opposition, right?
Yes.
So, what we say that we respect the people view. We know though that we cannot come together, but what our action tell? Okay, Pongo. We knew from the media, Worker Party is interested, and the people wanted to see that possible winning team. We let go. And then this Wing guy, he wanted to go East Coast. It's openly, right? And he came to us and said, hey, can we give them 3 candidates and support them and put under SDA plan? I said no. Why you want to go there? Why you want to go against the people wish, right? Come to us. We can sacrifice. And we have everything for you. You just come in and learn and also get your exposure. And honestly, if he later part he have built his base and supporter, and he can get his most valuable party right listed, and isn't it also? And he think back, well, I appreciate that SDA have actually give me the opportunity to go through what is election and exposure. That his party may join SDA. Isn't it? That is also one of the succession plan.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Thing is that you always have to start, and also do not go against people. Which for us we have no choice. People come, but we never. It's not our principle to go out.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah. No.
Hey,
Okay.
thank you very much. Thank you.
So we're out of time. But
Yeah,
thank you
thank
so
you very
much, right,
Yeah.
Mr. Desmond Lim,
Yes.
Mr. Abu Mohamed,
Thank
for
you,
coming
thank you.
here on the
Yes.
show of the SDA.
Yeah.
They're running in Pasir Ris,
Yes.
Changi.
Okay.
Okay, and you two are very brave and courageous men who are, fighting for Singapore, and I respect you and I wish you all the best.
Thank you,
and
thank
I
you.
will see you in 5 years. And we'll see.
But
Okay, thank you very
but-
much once again.
Okay.
Yes,
Or maybe a new team.
maybe. Okay.
After off the mic, I share with you our
Okay.
NS for your son.
Okay, let me just right. So thank you everyone who joined us on the live stream, who watched, sent in questions. We really appreciate it. So stay tuned. We'll have another candidate. I think it's Jeremy Tan, the independent candidate, on the live stream in another half an hour. But that's all from me for this interview. So thank you very much, all of you.
Thank you.
And don't forget to vote wisely. Bye-bye.
Every election cycle in Singapore, one concern tends to surface among voters. Is my vote really secret? The Elections Department says yes, and the process is designed by law to ensure it. From the moment the polls open at 8 a.m., ballot boxes are sealed in full view of candidates and polling agents. After the polls close at 8 p.m., the slits are sealed, and agents may sign on the seals to ensure they have not been tampered with. These boxes are transported securely to counting centers, again observed by the counting agents. After counting, the ballot papers and official documents are sealed and stored in the vault of the Supreme Court for 6 months before being destroyed. All these steps are open for candidates and their counting agents to observe. It's a rigorous process. But what about the serial numbers? Yes, each ballot has a serial number, and your voter serial is recorded on a counterfoil when you're issued your ballot. This is meant to ensure accountability, to prevent counterfeit ballots or impersonation. But that link between you and your vote is sealed away. It can only be accessed with a court order, and only if there's solid evidence of electoral fraud that could have changed the outcome of the election. There is no practical or legal way for anyone to isolate and trace your single vote out of thousands, unless they're already trying to overturn the election. The idea that they know how you voted is a myth, built more on fear than fact. So where does this fear come from? The real issue isn't vote tracing. It's the perception of control, how the system feels stacked in favor of the ruling party. Because here's the truth. Singapore doesn't need to trace individual votes to maintain political dominance. The government already receives voting data by precinct and block. When entire clusters of HDB blocks vote a certain way, it becomes clear where support lies. And that's where gerrymandering comes in. Electoral boundaries are redrawn after each election. Whole constituencies disappear. New ones appear. Strongholds get split up. Weak zones get absorbed. That's not done through your one vote. It's done through pattern recognition. So yes, your vote is secret. But the system is still carefully managed. The real power isn't in tracing your vote. It's in shaping the field where your vote is cast. So don't let fear stop you from voting for the candidates you truly support in the election.